Hi wonderful people, welcome back to my channel where we talk about the Christian faith, health, money and lifestyle. So today I've got a bit of a different video. Oh, by the way, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. But anyway, we're talking about all about the big new Netflix program Love is Blind and what we can learn from it. So I have to give you a bit of a backstory. I watched a few episodes of it. I didn't finish the whole thing, but I caught up just watching a few clips on YouTube about what happened and how it ended up and blah blah blah. So I was in a barbershop taking my son to get his hair cut, and one of the guys, the barber first says, "Oh, has anybody seen," in a Jamaican accent, "has anybody seen that program on Netflix?" And I was just like, "Oh yeah, I saw a bit of it. I get why the program will be popular, because I could imagine the dating world must be very difficult now, and people are shallow because people base things based on how people look, and people do treat people based on how they look. If someone's good looking, you tend to treat them differently than you would if someone's a bit, you know." That's just the reality. That's just how humans are. And then the guy in his seat says, "Yeah, I would never do a show like that. I need to see what the girl looks like. I need to know what she looks like." And I'm like, "So don't you think character and personality matters more?" He's like, "Yeah, but you can be more forgiving if a girl's pretty, innit?" I was just like, huh? If a girl's more pretty, then you can be more forgiving. So she could have the trashiest character, but because she's pretty, she's more forgiving. And then we wonder why people who are good, too good, not for everybody, you know, some of us are good looking and have character. But yeah, so you wonder why some people are not encouraged to build on their character because they look good. And people just see them and don't have to invest in them, or think they're shallow, so they don't care because they're good looking. And in the second statement, hear what this man said. Obviously, if you want to have good looking kids, you're going to get with a good looking girl. Obviously, if you're thinking about being with someone to live with, then you'll look at their character. I was just like, hold up. Wait, I'm confused. So you're trying to tell me that the person you want to have children with will differ to the person you want to live with? Hello? What sense does that make? And it got me thinking, is this what it's like in people? I must admit, I got married quite young. You can check out my testimony video on me getting married young and me practicing abstinence and purity and waiting till marriage and that whole lot. But I got married quite young, so I don't know what it's like in the dating world. But I've been married nearly 7 years now, and I'm so grateful that I'm not on the dating scene. And I can imagine even for Christians how hard it is to date, because even in the church, people are dating incorrectly, or they're not dating with purpose. And as Christians, our job, our dating experience is not, "Oh, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to, you know, entertain myself, take me out, pay for my food." No, hell no. Dating is for you to get to know the person. And I think the good thing about the experiment, which is what I wanted to relate it back to, was that it took away all of the distractions that people have that causes them to not invest in what's important, someone's character. Oh, the scripture in the Bible that says beauty fades, but character is what sustains a person. You can be the prettiest person, but if you've got a stinking character, you become ugly. We can't deny that. You can't deny someone who may be the best looking person in the room, and you may have men like that man was saying, "Hey, I'll just forgive her, innit?" You may have men like that, and relationships like that tend to not last anyway. But to hear such a statement just got my blood boiling. But one thing I do want to take, and I want to encourage anybody, especially Christian women who want to get married one day, please date on purpose. From the get-go, you need to know what this man's intentions are. You also need to know what he stands for. If you haven't seen that clip of that pastor where he's all like, does he brush his teeth? Do you like to bath? Do you
have a job? Where do you work at? How much money do you make? How long you been working there? Do you have a bank account? How is your credit?
You need to know what you're working with. So invest in getting to know that person. Keep yourself to yourself. You may see that person physically and you might be attracted to that person, so you don't have that experience, but you have to have that thing where I want to get to know you. And that's why it's important to practice purity and abstinence, because one, that means you have to be friends, like real friends. I have to get to know your character and build an emotional connection with you first before I do the physical with you, i.e. after the ring's on. You know what I mean? 3 things we should learn from the program. Ask the hard questions. When you're dating somebody, if you know your intention is for marriage, be honest with the person. There's no time. No one ain't got time to assume what you're thinking. I'm not going to invest 5 years in dating you just for you to realize, nah, this is not what's meant to be. Sorry, I can find that out in a space of 4 months if we're being real, because you get to know my character a lot quicker. And especially as Christians, you ain't got time to be doing let's date for 5 years, because you're supposed to be number 2, practicing purity and abstinence and celibacy. Because the Bible teaches us that we should flee from sexual immorality. And if you think about why it's telling us that, because when you have physical activities happening when you're in the dating stage, it gives you a false sense of closure and closeness, which is not reality. That is not what makes a marriage work. What makes a marriage work is 2 people coming together, thrashing out their differences and learning to be compatible. I don't think people are naturally compatible. I think you have to work at it and becoming compatible. So in the stages where you can just get to know the person, do I like you? A lot of people love their spouse, but they don't like them. They won't consider their spouse their friend. And you want to be able to build a friendship with somebody where there's no physical elements to it. Trust me. And like I mentioned in my previous videos, when you take the physical bit out, you sift out all the trash, man. You don't have time to say this men are trash. You ain't got time for that, because you wouldn't have to say that, because men won't get past a certain level with you. You will not be putting your heart out to people that is not worth putting your heart out to. And the 3rd thing is be prayerful and spiritual about it. Besides getting saved and giving your life to Christ, the biggest decision you'll make is who you marry. This is the person you're going to have children with. This is the person you may buy a house with. This is the person who, if God's has a calling over your life, will be connected to you forever. So that's something you really, really need to pray about and be like, God, I need the assurance. I need the peace. You need to give me a word to tell me, yes, this is the person I should continue building this relationship with. If God has not given you that word, sister, take a step back. Like in the program, what I liked about the show is that it forced people to be real, in the sense of, tell me your truth. Do you like me or not? Let's not do this fluffy Tinder vibes. Let's not do any of that. Do you like me or not? Because there is a timeline where you have to propose to me. And that goes with Christian dating. There is a timeline when you have to propose. So don't waste your time, man or woman. Don't waste your time. So it's important to be very, very spiritual. Because even within the church, some girls may like, oh, I want a guy, he's a bad man, with the Christian title. Yeah, bad man. No. You want a man who will pray for you. You want a man who's spiritual, because he's the head of the household. You want a man who will be there when times are difficult and not ditch you because he's just like, nah, I can't handle this. These are character traits you need to be looking out for when you're dating. So even before any of this, it's important to get to know you, because somebody said something and I was just like, I went through that. If you ever want to get married, you really need to be single first. Like, you really need to be a single person if you want to get married. And if you speak to a lot of people, a lot of them got to the stage where they were like, it's just me and God. It's just me and Jesus. I am here to serve God. And then the man comes along because you prepared yourself. I went through a stage where I cut off every guy. I was just like, no, I'm going to do this Christian thing. I want to serve God properly. I want to build my relationship with God. And that is when my husband came along. But I had to get to that stage where I am content with who I am. I know myself to an extent because I was quite young. I know who I am and I know what I stand for at the very least. I know what my standards are. So I just want to say thank you for watching. Let me know, what did you like about the show? What did you like about what I've said? Comment comment below. Have a blessed day, and I'll chat to you soon. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Put that notification button on for when I post. Bye.